Las Vegas. Actually, before that, I was a child in the country and in Oregon, and that taught me a lot. You know, it wasn't easy living. It was a logging community. And then I moved to Las Vegas when I was 14 years of age, and then went to high school here in Las Vegas and played sports and football. And then after that, I went in the military, and I'm very proud of being in the military and serving our country. And I was in special operations. I was in 2nd Ranger Battalion in Fort Lewis, Washington. So I've had the opportunity to serve my country in combat, and that certainly is a maturing process. And I have the utmost respect for the people who serve their country. Actually, not only serve the country, anybody who does something that is greater than themselves, or somebody who serves something other than themselves. See, most people in life, they don't do anything but serve their own needs, their own objectives, their own goals. People are very selfish inherently, and that's not who I am. And that comes with plus and minuses, obviously. So after that, I was a police officer in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I did that for several years, and I was injured in the line of duty. I really think that's where I developed the passion for insurance, because I was a victim of the system, and it ended up costing me financially quite a bit, not only physically. I broke my back and in an altercation, an incident, and that left some major effects on my life, and that really inspired me in my new career, which is insurance. When I was first exposed to insurance, it was kind of unique circumstances, and it was actually on the receiving end of insurance, realizing that you're not adequately covered. And I thought insurance was so simple, and there was just these few items. That's what insurance is. When in all actuality, insurance is a lot more than these few items. And insurance can provide a lot more than these few items. I mean, these few items, what keeps people in a box, and they don't understand, and out of fear or ignorance, they go ahead and they just do what the company offers, or do what their friend provides them. They never seek out a professional's advice. And that's because of, to be quite frank, the insurance industry hasn't deserved the trust of the people. I mean, that's probably the biggest reason why I'm in the insurance industry, is because I'll be frank, I don't trust most insurance professionals. When it comes to people who are in the public sector employee, obviously they're providing services to us, they have benefits, and they have a pension, which most people don't. But again, they've earned that pension, and rightfully so. There's not most people out there who would go and do a job for 30 years, and let's say the last 15 years of the job, it's wearing on them, but because they have a pension, they suck it up and they stick it out. So most of us would quit our job and go find another career. But that's what the pension does, is it makes people a sacrifice. And you know, folks, I don't think a lot of people realize what it's like to serve the community and be under the scrutiny. So with that in mind, they have great benefits, but they're incomplete. They're really incomplete. And we saw years ago, in 2007 and 2008, when there were challenges with our economy, and there's still organizations out there that are fighting for this objective, and that objective is to go ahead and get rid of the public pension. So it's smart to go ahead and to self-insure. It's smart to build a private pension, because if you do this, then you know that you have certain securities available to you when you retire, no matter what the financial dynamic is of the political scene, or who's in office, or who the governor is. It doesn't matter, because you've taken care of your own. And that's what I try to convey to officers and people who serve our community in our state, you know, teachers, police officers, firefighters, nurses, physicians. Take care of yourself, and that's what drives me. It's just, if they're educated, they'll be able to make an informed decision for themselves. I think one of the biggest reasons why people aren't obtaining the right products or exploring what the other options is because of the internet. Everybody's an expert because of the internet, because if it's on the internet, it's true. And that couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. And they don't spend the time to sit down and meet with a professional. So find a professional they trust, somebody who has options for them, and sit down and be educated. Spend the time. So they spend the time on the internet, and they're just getting somebody's opinion. They take that as fact. Or somebody at work tells them what they need to do financially. But that person at work doesn't have any experience or knowledge in it. They have experience or knowledge being a police officer, not being a financial person. So that's the biggest challenge, is that they think they're gathering the information from the internet or social media or whatever it may be, but they're not going out and getting the information or the products and services that they should be exploring from a professional. So if they would just spend the time, invest the time, spend the hour, 2 hours, invest the time in your future, do it, you will be very, very glad that you did in the end. When I found NLS Insurance, I found on four core principles: honesty, integrity, education, and service. So everybody's situation is different. Everybody's need is different. So making sure that you have good products, strong, solid products for all of these different scenarios and situations is the key. And then when we meet with a client, what we try to do is we try to find out, first of all, what their current situation is, what are their goals, what are their objectives. Once we know what those are, we can show them some principles regarding finance and insurance. And then once we explain that to them, then they have the information and the education to make an informed decision of what's best for them. But just by meeting with people and sharing those core values and those core principles at NLS, we find that we can most likely usually find a suitable product to meet their needs. But again, it's their needs, it's their life, it's not ours. The reason why legacy is important to me is because it's important to me. It's my legacy. So I mention legacy because I hope, I believe, and actually I know that there's people out there who feel the same way about their family and their life as I do mine. So again, I'm very, very, very focused on legacy because I care about my legacy. And because I care about my legacy, I practice what I preach. I own the products that we provide. I invest in these investment vehicles. So I know my family's secure, my legacy is secure, so I have a passion to share this information with people so that they can have the same opportunity and same ability to build and provide their legacy for their families. But again, they've got to care enough to do that. And I can't control other people, of course, but I can certainly give them opportunities to secure their legacy. So a lot of people get credibility from the big name or the company they work for. Names have nothing to do with anything. The most important name is the name that your parents gave you when you came out of the womb, because that identifies you. Just because you see a bright and shiny name of a company doesn't mean that their products are worth anything. Again, names are names. We call people good names, we call people bad names, right? So the important thing is not your name, it's what you do with your actions. And our credibility comes from our performance and our actions. So we have literally thousands of clients, and we have many, many clients who would be more than willing to share about their experience that they had with NLS and our NLS professional, and we helped them and assisted them in their financial and their insurance needs. So again, our name comes from our actions. So if the question was which case was most important to me, where I felt that, oh, we took care of them, all of them, because everybody matters. It doesn't matter if it's a lot of money, a little, it doesn't matter, because it's that individual and that person. Because we deal with people on an individual level, not on a, even though as we provide group benefits, when we deal with these people, we deal with them as individuals, and that's what's important. We deal with them as important people who matter, because they matter to themselves and they matter to somebody else. So there's no claim in my life to say, oh, I did this I didn't do it. All I did was provide the information for somebody. They took the action. They're the ones who deserve the credit in taking care of their family or loved ones, not me. All I am is the messenger and the person who gives the people the ability and the opportunity to protect their family or to prepare for retirement. I'm not the hero. The people who do it are the heroes, because if they don't do it, there's not going to be anything there. There's nothing I can do to force their hand. I would never do that. I would never encourage somebody or pressure somebody to make a decision. It's best when you just provide the information, let them make the decision. So then when I meet with their family, like I've said before, we've paid over 80 death claims in the last 6 years. Every one of those families I try to meet with. I haven't been able to meet with all of them because a lot of families lived out of the state or out of the city, and they didn't want to meet or didn't have the opportunity to meet. But the person that deserves the credit is their loved ones. That's who deserves the credit. If there's one message I can convey to people, it's take the time Sit down. You know, we'd love to have the opportunity to meet with you, but if you got somebody that you trust, sit down, take the time, spend a couple hours and meet with them. We'd love to meet with you, like I said, and if you want, give us a call. We'll answer the phone, we'll set a time up, we'll come to you, you can come to us. We'll explain things. But if you don't know the information, especially now, if you don't know the proper information and you don't take the action, I promise you there is a consequence for doing so. I guarantee you that there is a consequence for doing so, and there's a consequence for not doing so. You know, we have choices in life we can make. And you know, when we were a kid, we used to take our head and we used to stick it under the covers. And we used to think, you know what? If the monster is there and I can't see him and I cover my head, then he can't see me. And our parents used to think that's ridiculous, right? Well, ignoring our financial and our insurance needs is the same thing as adults. And actually, to be honest with you, it's not very responsible. So most of us, or a lot of us, have fear about these things. You know what? There's nothing to be afraid of. There really isn't. Do something. Take care of your family. Take care of your finances. Take care of your future. And again, like I mentioned before, secure your legacy. It will make a difference. If it doesn't make a difference to you, it'll make a difference to somebody else that you love and you care about. There's nothing more. I guess the one image that I have in my mind is I know this. When I die, when I pass away, I know that I took care of my family and I can die with peace, no regrets. And that means a lot to me. So, and again, that's securing my legacy. What's your legacy?